Your life will change forever after you watch this. Now, that's a massive promise, but the science is there to back it up. For years, we've been told all sorts of things about masturbation, that it's dirty, shameful, or just a guilty pleasure. But what if I told you that this one act is actually one of the most powerful tools you have, that it can literally change your brain chemistry, help manage stress, and even get you a better night's sleep tonight? In the next few minutes, we're going to pull back the curtain on the surprising scientific truths that they definitely didn't teach you in health class. What we're about to explore isn't just about feeling good, it's about understanding the profound biological and psychological shifts that you can trigger on command. This isn't just about sex, it's about self-care, mastering your mood, and understanding your own body. So, let's get into the science of how this one act can be a game changer, starting with what's happening inside your brain. Section 1. The foundation, your brain's pleasure and reward center. To really get the power of masturbation, we have to take a quick trip inside the most complex thing in the known universe, your brain. Specifically, we need to look at something called the reward pathway. This isn't some fuzzy, abstract idea. It's a real physical network of brain cells that drives your motivation, your desires, and what you find pleasurable. It's the reason a fantastic meal feels so satisfying, why you love hanging out with friends, and why you get that hit of accomplishment after a tough workout. The star player in this system is a neurotransmitter called dopamine. You've probably heard it called the pleasure chemical, but that's not quite right. It's more accurate to call it the motivation chemical. Dopamine is what makes you want to do things. It's the little voice in your head that says, "Hey, that was awesome. Let's remember that and do it again." When you do something your brain likes, it releases a flood of dopamine, creating a powerful memory that makes you want to repeat the behavior. This is the exact system that helped our ancestors survive. The dopamine rush from finding food or connecting with a mate ensured they'd keep doing the things necessary for life. Masturbation, and the orgasm that follows, taps directly into this ancient and powerful circuit. When you orgasm, your brain doesn't just feel a nice physical sensation. It unleashes a whole cascade of neurochemicals designed to make you feel fantastic. The dopamine provides a powerful sense of reward and satisfaction, essentially telling your brain, "Yep, this is good for us." But dopamine isn't flying solo, it's part of a potent chemical cocktail. Your brain also releases endorphins, which are your body's natural painkillers and mood boosters. They're the same chemicals that cause the famous runner's high, creating a feeling of euphoria that can wash away stress and even physical pain. Then there's oxytocin, often called the love hormone or cuddle hormone. Oxytocin is released during social bonding, like when you hug someone you care about, and it creates feelings of trust, calm, and connection. During an orgasm, it delivers a profound sense of peace and emotional satisfaction. So, when you masturbate, you're not just getting a moment of physical release. You're lighting up a core neurological pathway, flooding your brain with an amazing mix of dopamine, endorphins, and oxytocin. This neurochemical symphony is the foundation for all the other benefits we're about to talk about. It's the reason this act can so powerfully change your mood, slash your stress, and even alter how you see the world. Understanding this is the first step to seeing masturbation not as a simple act, but as a direct line to your brain's most important motivational and emotional controls. Section 2. Surprising truth. Number 1. The mood alchemist. Now that we know what's happening in the brain, let's get to our first surprising truth. Masturbation can act like a mood alchemist, transforming your emotional state from stressed and anxious to calm and happy. This isn't just a vague feeling, it's a measurable biochemical event. The release of happy hormones like dopamine, endorphins, and oxytocin during orgasm creates a potent, all-natural antidepressant and anti-anxiety cocktail. Let's look at how each one helps engineer a better mood. First up, endorphins. As your body's natural opiates, endorphins are incredible pain and stress relievers. When you're feeling overwhelmed or even in physical pain from things like headaches or cramps, the endorphin surge from an orgasm can bring real relief. While not a guaranteed cure for everyone, some research and many anecdotal reports show that sexual activity, including masturbation, can help alleviate migraines and cluster headaches for some individuals. It's your body's built-in self-soothing system, delivering a wave of comfort that calms both your mind and body. Next, oxytocin, the love hormone. Even when you're by yourself, oxytocin is hard at work. It actively lowers levels of cortisol, your body's main stress hormone. High cortisol is what makes you feel frazzled, on edge, and anxious. Oxytocin helps bring those levels down, creating a state of deep relaxation. This is why so many people feel incredibly peaceful and content after an orgasm. Your brain is literally dialing down the stress response. And we can't forget serotonin, another key player in mood regulation. Serotonin helps promote feelings of happiness and satisfaction. Healthy serotonin levels are linked to a more positive and stable emotional state. The rush of hormones triggered by orgasm can positively influence serotonin pathways, adding to an overall better mood. When you put it all together, the motivation of dopamine, the euphoric relief of endorphins, the stress-busting calm of oxytocin, and the stabilizing effects of serotonin, you have an incredibly effective tool for managing your emotions. It's a natural way to shift your brain chemistry from a state of stress to a state of well-being. This is why masturbation can be a healthy way to cope with daily anxiety. It gives you immediate relief and can help reset your emotional baseline, giving your brain the chemical boost it needs to face challenges with a calmer, more positive outlook. Section 3. Surprising truth. Number 2. The immune system ally. This next truth might be the most surprising of all. Masturbation could be an ally for your immune system. Now, before you start thinking an orgasm a day keeps the doctor away, it's important to be clear. The research here is still in its early days, and this is no substitute for a healthy lifestyle. But the findings are promising and point to another fascinating way this act supports your overall health. So, how could this possibly work? The main piece of evidence comes from a small study which found that orgasm from masturbation led to a temporary increase in the number of white blood cells, specifically a type known as natural killer cells. These cells are a key part of your immune system's first line of defense, tasked with finding and destroying infected or compromised cells. The study concluded that sexual arousal and orgasm seem to have a positive short-term effect on activating these important defensive cells. Perhaps more importantly, the benefits might also come from the hormonal shifts we've already covered. One of the biggest enemies of a healthy immune system is chronic stress. Consistently high levels of the stress hormone cortisol can suppress your immune system over time, leaving you more vulnerable to getting sick. As we learned, orgasm triggers the release of hormones like oxytocin that help lower cortisol levels. So, by reducing stress, masturbation helps create a better environment for your immune system to do its job effectively. Plus, your mood itself plays a role. Feeling happy and relaxed is associated with a stronger immune response, while feelings of anxiety and depression can weaken it. By giving you a natural mood boost through endorphins and dopamine, masturbation can contribute to a psychological state that supports better immunity. It's a perfect example of the mind-body connection in action. While scientists are still figuring out the full story, the evidence we have is compelling. The combination of potentially activating immune cells directly, lowering the immune-suppressing effects of stress, and promoting a positive mental state suggests that healthy sexual activity, including solo sessions, can be a valuable part of supporting your overall wellness. It's not a magic shield, but it is a natural, enjoyable way to potentially give your body's defenses a little nudge in the right direction. Section 4. Surprising Truth. Number 3. The ultimate sleep hack. If you've ever tossed and turned, unable to quiet your racing mind, our third surprising truth might just be the solution you've been looking for. Masturbation can be one of the most effective, all-natural sleep aids out there. Many people know from experience that they feel sleepy after an orgasm, and it turns out science completely backs this up. The hormonal cocktail released post-orgasm is practically a perfect recipe for deep, restful sleep. The main hormone responsible for this sleepy feeling is prolactin. After an orgasm, your brain releases a big surge of prolactin, which is strongly linked to feelings of sleepiness and satisfaction. This is the hormone that makes you feel deeply relaxed, essentially flipping the arousal switch off and the rest switch on in your brain. Prolactin levels are naturally higher when you sleep, so the post-orgasm surge helps signal to your body that it's time to power down. Working right alongside prolactin is our old friend, oxytocin. By lowering cortisol and reducing stress, oxytocin creates a state of calm that's essential for falling asleep. That racing mind that keeps you awake at night? That's often driven by high levels of stress hormones keeping your system on high alert. The relaxing wave of oxytocin directly counters this, allowing your mind to settle down. Together, the surge in prolactin and oxytocin, plus the drop in cortisol, creates a powerful formula for sleep. This doesn't just make you feel tired, it can actually improve the quality of your sleep, helping you get more of the deep, restorative rest you need to wake up feeling refreshed. For anyone who struggles with insomnia or just has a hard time winding down, masturbation can be a fantastic tool to break that cycle of sleepless nights. And unlike many sleep aids that can come with side effects or lead to dependency, this is a completely natural process. You're simply using your body's own biochemistry to bring on a state of rest. It's a way to actively take control of your sleep cycle, using pleasure and relaxation to pave the way for a good night's sleep. Section 5. Addressing the dark side, myth versus reality. For centuries, masturbation has been wrapped in layers of myth, fear, and bad information, leading to so much unnecessary guilt and shame. It's time to flip on the lights and separate the facts from the fiction. So many of the negative things you've probably heard are just plain wrong, and understanding the truth is key to having a healthy relationship with your own body. Let's start by busting the biggest, most ridiculous myths. You might have heard that masturbation can make you go blind, grow hair on your palms, stunt your growth, or make you infertile. Let's be crystal clear. There is zero scientific evidence for any of these claims. They are myths, plain and simple, relics from a time when fear was used to control natural behavior. Masturbation does not cause physical harm. In fact, for men, some studies even suggest that frequent ejaculation might be linked to a lower risk of prostate cancer, though more research is needed. Now, let's tackle a more modern concern, addiction. Is it possible to get addicted to masturbation? The word addiction can be a bit tricky here. While it's not addictive like a chemical substance, it can become a compulsive behavior for a small number of people. This happens when the act stops being about pleasure and relaxation and instead becomes a way to escape or cope with deeper issues like anxiety, depression, or severe stress. The science goes back to dopamine. If any activity is used excessively to flood the brain with dopamine, the reward system can get a little burnt out. Think of it like coffee. The first cup gives you a big jolt, but if you start drinking it all day, every day, you need more and more to get the same effect. With compulsive behavior, a person might find they need more frequent or intense stimulation to get that same feeling of reward, which can create a tough cycle to break. So, how do you know if it's a problem? It really comes down to one question: is it getting in the way of your life? If you're skipping work or school, canceling plans with people you care about, or feel intense guilt but can't stop, then the problem isn't the masturbation itself. It's a sign that the behavior is being driven by underlying emotional pain, and it might be time to seek professional help to address the root cause. Finally, let's talk about the most common negative side effect: guilt. For so many people, the biggest pain that comes from this act isn't physical, it's psychological. Feeling ashamed or anxious after masturbating is incredibly common, but it's vital to know where that feeling comes from. It's not a natural part of the act. It's almost always learned from cultural, religious, or social taboos. When you're taught from a young age that something is wrong or dirty, you internalize that message, and it can pop up as guilt even when you consciously know it's a perfectly healthy behavior. The problem isn't what you're doing, it's the shame-based ideas surrounding it. We've walked through the brain science of pleasure, the chemistry of a better mood, and the biology of stress relief. We've seen how a single private act can have a ripple effect on everything from your immune system to how well you sleep at night. We've busted ancient myths and looked honestly at modern concerns like compulsion and guilt. The scientific takeaway is overwhelmingly clear. Masturbation is a normal, natural, and healthy part of being human, and it comes with a whole list of real, tangible benefits. It's a powerful tool for reducing stress, a natural way to lift your mood, and an effective sleep aid, all thanks to that incredible cascade of hormones it unleashes in your brain. The real dark side isn't the act itself, but the compulsion that can be driven by emotional distress, or the guilt and shame forced on us by society. Understanding this science gives you power. It reframes masturbation from something that's just about pleasure, or worse, something to be ashamed of, into a versatile tool for self-care. It's a way to consciously and deliberately work with your own body's chemistry to feel better, calmer, and more rested. It's an act of self-discovery, helping you learn what brings you peace and pleasure. The power, quite literally, is in your hands. By embracing this knowledge, you can move past the stigma and start harnessing the profound biological benefits that have been there for you all along. This is about taking ownership of your body and your mind, and using science to live a happier, healthier, and more empowered life. I hope this was as eye-opening for you as the research was for me. The science is honestly incredible. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What was the biggest aha moment or the most surprising fact you learned in this video? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's keep this important, shame-free conversation going. And if you found this video valuable and want to learn more science-backed truths about your mind and body, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss what's coming next. Thanks for watching.